Heavy Rain is a very dark thriller. It's an experience that I think for the first time is going to put gamers into very different emotional states. We're offering subject matters that are usually found in films or books, but I can't think of any game I've played in the past that would only scratch the surface of the different emotional aspects of this game that we're dealing with. It's a very deep story. It really touches, I think, on the emotional fiber of all mature audiences. And I think that makes it a rather unique experience.
We call it interactive drama. The game is really story-driven, but the player can change it. So it's a game because every choices are made by the player.
For Christ's sakes, shoot!
It's really the first time that we're such a level of performance for characters. I think that it's going to demonstrate, I hope, that emotion is the key to any entertainment form. And that by obtaining such a strong acting performance, you can raise the whole quality of the experience and therefore the quality of your game.
For God's sake, how hard is it to keep your eye on a child in the park? Why did you leave him, Ethan? Why? Wasn't it enough losing Jason? I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say. I miss him so much.
We spent about a year doing casting sessions in the UK, in London and in Paris to try to find really the best actors for the main roles. And that was really important because we were not just looking for someone to give us his face or his voice, but we were basically looking for the full actor because then their face is scanned with a 3D scanner, so it's really their face in the game. We recreate the body exactly at the same size and the same height and everything. And then they come on set to shoot the motion capture animations. So we do all the walks, all the interactions, all the dialogues, pretty much everything is shot.
Here what we wanted is to use the system in a way that would give us the possibility to have actors truly play like if they were on a movie set. So they spent a lot of time with David Cage, the director, and Steve Knebely, the assistant director, to make sure that when they come on stage, they know what they have to do.
You're not gonna kill the Antichrist with a revolver, Nathaniel. He's much too powerful for that.
Antichrist, my ass! Get the gun out of my face!
Lieutenant Blake is gonna leave the planet right now and return to the realm of shadows. Creature of darkness, I do beseech you to return to the realm of shadows.
They have a full script, and we spent days and days and months just rehearsing with them to make sure they fully understand the story, their character, and they can deliver the performance we accept from them. You know, very often in games you need good performances for cutscenes, sometimes for dialogues, but here it's different because we really needed this level of quality in the performances pretty much in all the game.
You have to absolutely know it, and not just know it, you have to know it backwards and forwards, because the way that it's done, when you get to one of these choices and you have those moments, you have to know all of them very well, because you have to get to that point and then go to one, get to that point, then go to another, get to that point and then go to another, or maybe just do all three in a row, and they're all very different, but the point of departure is the same. And so preparing for that was really quite intense, because again I was working in an imaginary world.
To prepare myself for this particular role, I went to, there's an institute called it's called IGAP, and it's an institute of analytical psychologists, and I went to a few seminars, and specifically to do with forensics and forensic psychology.
If you don't relate to the characters, if you don't feel empathy for them, if you don't believe in what they say and how they feel, then the whole experience would just fall apart. I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
As lead artist, the first and foremost part of my job is to create a character from an actor. And not only make a faithful copy of the actor, but also give him as much personality as possible through 3D design. It means that we use the existing actor as a basis, and then we try to make the character fit its part in the game.
Quality, fucking wonderful, man. Shit, I'm glad I'm not me. I wouldn't want to meet me, man.
Technologically speaking, we focused on very specific areas. We worked very hard on high-level characters in a way never done before. We put all our energy into having the best character rendering and animation. For instance, we made very realistic effects for rain and tears on characters' faces. Our main aim was to set a new benchmark in terms of realism in character rendering, and I believe that this is one of the main differences between Heavy Rain and other games.
Weird thing we had before, he's just lifting his head a bit down on the end of the animation, so this is something we change to make the loop even more discrete so we don't see the repetition. The player is able to move its character, so this is a way to give the control of the character to the player, and this is also a way to introduce some behavior really that are not mechanical, that are not loops. We break the cycle with putting something that moves completely outside of any loop. It's random, it's dynamic, it's real. If the player leaves the character alone for 3 seconds, a really short mob, the character is gonna take a new pose. He won't stand in its basic regular stand pose as anyone do. Each actor is gonna choose some of the some attitude, some behavior that he usually have, and this is some details that really brings a lot of detail on who is the character, what is he thinking about.
Another aspect of our job is to create facial animation, and thus to really give life to the character. It's a moment when we truly work with the actors, shooting facial mock-up with them in order to give life to the character's face, to make it talk and act in accordance with the situations.
Dad! Hey, take it easy, you're gonna knock me over. So this is your big day, huh?
Am I grown up now?
10 years old, that's not exactly grown up, but you're getting there.
It wasn't bravery. It was love.
That telling stories, this is probably one of the oldest human activities since language exists and writing exists. I mean, people tell stories and people like stories to be told.
PlayStation